One of the questions I get about boundaries is how do you set them after you have set a precedent? So it's highly likely that you have been working umpteenth number of hours, 80, 60, 100, and now you don't want to. You don't want to because you want to reposition yourself or you want to pivot, which I highly recommend. So now you have to set some new boundaries when people are used to you acting a certain way. And this gets to one of those moments where, whether it's at work or in your personal life, where it's okay to change and it's okay for people to have opinions about those changes, right? So when it comes to setting boundaries after you have set a precedent, the first thing you want to do, step one, is communicate the new boundary, right? So you can share what brought you to this place. You want to talk about what you are hoping it'll achieve. And then you want to tell them how they can support you. You want to give them something to focus on other than the fact that you are changing things up on them, right? And it's really hard to get all of your feelings when someone is saying, hey, this would really help me if you could support me doing this. I would love your support, or I would like your support, if you will, right? So you want to give them something to do so that they're not stuck in their own feelings because you're not going to do what you used to do for them or the way that you used to do things for them. And you want to lead both of you forward in that process. And then step two, when you've already set a precedent that you no longer want to maintain, is be prepared for them to say, okay, but then default to what they're used to doing. Default to the historical ways in which you've interacted. Know that this is likely to happen, so you don't have to get upset. And you're just going to lead from the place of this is how we do things now. We're not going to have an attitude about it. There's no need. It's a waste of energy because people are just ultimately, if they're not intentional, and people are not intentional, including your boss, about most things, you have to lead with intent. You have to lead them and step into the woman you want to become by leading them to treat you the way you want to be treated. If you let it go, they're going to continue to go back and do it the old way. And you're going to be the one who is impacted negatively about that because it's going to impact how you want to lead and who you want to be as a leader as you move forward. Okay. And then three is holding the boundary. So just like I just said, you've got to hold the line. Yes, people are going to be in their feelings, but it's okay. Let them have their feelings. Feelings are a normal part of the human experience. And what matters is while they're having that experience, how you show up, how you lead, how you keep the lines of communications open. That is what's going to matter as you both move through this transition of training them to treat you in a different manner, training them to interact with you in a different manner. Right? This would be no different if you had a peer who became your boss or a peer who got promoted before you, and now they're at a higher level. How you interact with them will change. And if you want to be that person, you've got to start setting precedents that tell people they can't ask you all the questions, that tell people your time is valuable. So they're going to need to look on your calendar and schedule accordingly. And so you've got to be confident. And if you're not confident, then show up to the coaching calls, show up in the community, ask questions. You can ask them anonymously. I don't have a preference. Do what makes you comfortable as long as you use the tools and support to move yourself forward. All right, I'll see you in the community.